When did aging become a bad word? You are not done. The fourth quarter of life is about owning your impact, thriving, and living your best life. I am going to show you exactly how to do that.
Please help me in welcoming Cindy. Cindy Weiss, she is a passionate voice in the world of wellness and a powerful advocate for living vibrantly at every age. She is a longtime entrepreneur, yoga and meditation teacher, and nutrition expert who has spent over 2 decades helping people reconnect with their bodies, minds, and purpose. Now, in what she calls the fourth quarter of life, Cindy is more energized than ever. She's on a mission to challenge outdated ideas about aging and remind us that our best years aren't behind us. They're right now. So please join me in welcoming a woman who walks her talk, radiates wisdom, and reminds us that thriving is always possible. Cindy Weiss. Over to you, Cindy.
Thank you, Randall. I am so excited to be here. Sunny, thank you so much for the invitation. And wherever you are in the world today, I'm just happy to be with you present. And I want to start by just asking you something. When did aging become a bad word? Remember how we used to celebrate getting older? I mean, we turned 16 and that was freedom. 21, you're an adult. And by the time you're 30, you figure you've got life all figured out, sort of. But somewhere along the way, something shifts. The birthdays still come, but the excitement fades. After 50 or 60 or 70, we're supposed to slow down, step aside, and age gracefully. But what if they've got it all wrong? What if this stage of life is not about fading out, but about momentum? What if it's about stepping in with more clarity and confidence and vitality than ever before? I mean, what if at 50 or 60, your best business idea, your deepest passion, your boldest vision isn't behind you, but it's right in front of you? Okay, take a moment and let this set in. You are not done. The fourth quarter of life is about owning your impact, thriving, and living your best life. And today, I am going to show you exactly how to do that. How to lead and build and thrive, not in spite of age, but because of it. Are you ready? Okay, I'll be honest. When I was in my 40s, I was not exactly looking forward to being in my 60s. But now that I'm here, I feel inspired. It's like I'm approaching the stage like the fourth quarter of a football game, which is the most exciting, high stakes part of the game. There's this unique sense of urgency in this time of life. There's time, but there's no time to waste. Every day feels significant, and that's an incredibly energizing way to live. So as we move through life, we build it like layer by layer, decision by decision. And with that experience comes perspective. Things start to make sense. We've never been wiser or more emotionally intelligent or deeply understanding of others. In fact, we've actually been never better positioned to love life. Many of us are shifting our priorities, making space for pleasure and purpose instead of relentless productivity. And that gives us more time. We have resources. With life experience comes greater freedom, whether that be financial, emotional, or simply the ability to choose what really matters. But most importantly, we know ourselves. We care less about what people think and say about us and more about what feels right. There's a clarity and a confidence that comes with age, and we own it. But despite the gifts that come with age, more experience, greater wisdom, deeper sense of self, many people still find themselves feeling overlooked and underestimated as they get older. I've spoken to countless people over the years, and I keep hearing the same story. They feel invisible, dismissed, irrelevant. For too long, society has dictated what aging should look like, what we should wear, God forbid, what we should not wear, how we should act, even what dreams we should give up on. But aging isn't something that just happens to us. It's not a passive process. It's something that we can actively shape. So instead of fighting aging or just going along with the same old story, what if we leaned in? What if we saw it as a time of new possibility? I call this pro-aging, a shift from merely getting older to getting bolder. It's about stepping fully into this chapter with confidence and vitality. And the best part is science backs this up. A positive perspective on aging doesn't just feel better, it actually helps us live longer, healthier, and happier lives. So let's reframe what aging looks like. Rather than an ending, an opportunity to step fully into the life that we want to live. I want to share something personal with you. My mom passed away in 2010. She was 77. And even now, when I say it, it still puts a physical lump in my throat. Her passing wasn't tragic in the way we typically define tragedy, but it rocked my world. It was the most significant, non-tragic tragedy of my life. And after her funeral, I had a realization that literally stopped me in my tracks. I'm next. Not in a fearful way, not a woe is me way, just this deep, sobering awareness that my generation had just moved up a slot. If the cycle of life follows its natural course, we are now on deck. And that truth changed me. Yeah, now it shapes almost every choice I make. My mom, she was a young 77. She lived fully. She didn't just go through the motions. She fully embraced life. She was definitely ahead of her time when it came to wellness. She exercised before exercise was a thing. And I remember her doing yoga in the living room when I was just a kid. She grew an organic garden. She took her vitamins and made sure my brothers and I took ours too. She poured love and care into everything she did. She was definitely the inspiration for what became my lifestyle and my career and my passion. And yet 77 isn't old. Her passing felt too early. But that was my turning point. I realized that longevity isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about how we show up for life. It's about making the years ahead not longer, but richer and stronger and more fulfilling. That's why I don't want to just live long. I want to live fully. I don't want to spend these years slowing down. I want to step in with more energy and passion than ever before. And that's the essence of pro-aging. It's not just adding years to our life, but it's about adding life to our years. And the same is true for you. No matter where you are on that spectrum today of time, it's never too late to pay attention and take an active role in how you're aging. So I call it aging optimally. I mean, what's that? How do we do it? What's the secret? Well, I'll tell you. It comes down to one thing: where we put our attention. Did you know that where you put your attention is your most powerful resource? It's more powerful than time because you can waste time. It's certainly more powerful than money. It's even more powerful than family because you could have an amazing family and not even recognize it. But here's something worth your attention. Right now, today, you are the youngest you will ever be. Think about that. What if your brightest days are ahead of you? It might sound surprising, but they do call them the golden years for a reason. Believe it or not, research actually shows that we get happier as we get older. It's called the the paradox of aging. Stanford researcher Laura Carstensen found that people in their 70s are happier than people in their 60s, and people in their 80s are happier than those in their 70s. Why? Well, because aging brings clarity. When we realize that time is finite, we stop sweating the small stuff. We quit chasing titles, accumulating things, and wondering if the grass is greener somewhere else. Instead, we focus on what truly matters: relationships, purpose, joy. And that shift makes life better. Have you ever thought about the difference between living longer and living better? It's the difference between lifespan and health span. It's the same as like chronological age versus biological age. Chronological age is just a number, the candles on your birthday cake. But biological age, that's how well your body's actually aging. And the good news is you have more control over it than you think you do. Science validates that you can slow, even reverse biological aging. Research in epigenetics shows our genes do not necessarily dictate our destiny. Just because you're predisposed to a condition does not mean it's inevitable. Your daily choices, what you eat, how you move, how you manage stress can turn certain genes on or off. So in other words, you just have more control over your future than you may realize. So what if you want to age optimally with your best days ahead of you? It's time to focus your attention on that goal. But don't worry, upgrading your self-care doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start with where you are and then take one small habit at a time. It's like rolling a snowball. At first, the changes seem really small, but as you start feeling the benefits, you'll want to keep going. And here's a little secret. Desire is a stronger motivator than discipline. When you shift from I have to I get to, everything changes. Are you ready to live your full potential in the fourth quarter of your life? Yeah, I am too. So let's do this. Let's talk about the key shifts that can truly transform your health and your life. I call these my 3 non-negotiables for aging optimally. Non-negotiable number 1, quality sleep. Okay, who struggles with sleep? Falling asleep, staying asleep, waking up in the middle of the night, staring at the ceiling. Like, I get it. For years, I thought my insomnia was like my superpower. I got so much done while the rest of the world was sleeping. Unfortunately, though, poor sleep sabotages everything. When you're not well rested, your workouts feel harder, your cravings take over, and even your mindset takes a hit. If you focus on just one thing to improve your health, choose sleep. Here's why. Sleep happens in cycles. And so the deep sleep cycle is where your body and brain repair themselves. But as we age, deep sleep declines from about 20% at age 20 to about just 1 or 2% by 70. No wonder we wake up feeling different than we did in our 20s. So how do we protect sleep? Well, here are some simple but very powerful shifts. The first one is stick to a schedule. Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. Consistency is key. Secondly, like move daily. Make sure your body is as tired as your mind. And then finish your meals early, at least 3 hours before bed. Digestion messes with sleep. You might want to try a magnesium supplement. Most people are actually deficient in this mineral, and it's been shown to be a really gentle but powerful sleep aid. And then dim the lights, power down the screens. I know that's a hard one. Support your body's natural circadian rhythm. I'll tell you a personal tip for me, a great sleep mask has been a game changer. So quality sleep is the foundation. You nail this and everything else, your energy, your metabolism, your mood, everything gets easier. Okay, who is ready to get better sleep tonight? Yes? Yeah. All right. Non-negotiable number 2, make some muscle. Here's a fact. Muscle is the key to aging strong. It protects against frailty, it boosts confidence, and helps you to feel comfortable in your own skin. But after the age of 40, we naturally start losing muscle. But it doesn't mean we have to accept it. Maintaining muscle is non-negotiable for several reasons. But my top 2 reasons why you must build and maintain muscle if you want to age optimally. The first is that muscle guards against insulin resistance. Did you know that 9 out of 10 adults have some level of insulin resistance? I mean, 9 out of 10. That's a major risk factor for metabolic disease and diabetes. So muscle kind of acts like a sponge, soaking up excess blood sugar and keeping your metabolism in check. Secondly, muscle is metabolically active tissue. It burns 5 to 10 times more calories at rest than fat, and up to 100 times more when you're active. So if you want to build a strong metabolism, muscle is your best friend. Now, the formula for building muscle is very simple, but you have to do your part. That's the thing. The first thing in this formula is strength train. So you challenge your muscles to where they can't do one more repetition. And then you're in the sweet spot for muscle building. The muscle sends a message up to their brain and says, hey, I don't know what it is they're trying to do here, but we need help. The brain sends the protein from the diet to the muscle and starts to build and strengthen this muscle so that it's ready for that heavy lift the next time. So that's the level of strength training that you want, is something, whether you're using a weight or a resistance band, you want to be challenging the muscles to the point where they really don't want to do one more repetition. The second piece that's so critical is eat enough protein. Your muscles can't grow and repair without it. If you have never focused on the protein in your diet, I can pretty much guarantee you you're not getting enough. Most people don't. You want to aim for at least 100 grams of protein a day. And that depends on your gender, your size, your activity level, but a minimum of 100 grams. So prioritizing getting a minimum of 100 grams of protein a day, it will be challenging and it will be a game changer. Your energy, your sweet cravings, your muscle recovery will all improve dramatically. I cannot emphasize this enough. And the third and final part of the formula for building muscle is rest and recovery. So you want to work your muscles, you want to feed your muscles, and then you want to let them rest and rebuild. And then you repeat, start over. Muscle matters. Those muscles will keep you strong and metabolically flexible for life. Okay, my third non-negotiable for aging optimally, master your mindset. Life isn't perfect. We can't always control what happens to us, but what we can control is how we see it, how we respond to it, and ultimately how we experience it. One of the greatest gifts of my career in wellness has been the people I've met and the lessons I've learned from them. Because I've owned my yoga business for over 20 years, many of our yogis have been practicing with us for decades. And to keep things fresh, I frequently bring in guest presenters, some of the biggest names in my industry. Our events are always top-notch, and our attendees expect nothing less. Well, one weekend, we were hosting a presenter that I'd only heard about. Her reputation was legendary. We planned to meet for dinner the night before her sold-out workshop, and I was so excited to finally meet her in person. So I walked into the restaurant, scanned the room, and then there she was, like radiant, smiling, effortlessly confident, impeccably dressed in skin-tight slacks and 3-inch stilettos. She had an energy that filled the space. Her face was lined with deep wrinkles, but they didn't dim her vibrancy. They actually highlighted it, almost like a map of a well-lived life. Her eyes sparkled, and I could tell immediately this woman was special. The next day, she led an intense full-day workshop. No breaks, no sign of fatigue, just pure passion and energy. Her name was Tao Porchon Lynch, and she was 98 years old. When I asked Tao how she kept teaching, traveling, and living so fully, she just smiled at me and said, I don't want to know what I can't do. I only care about what I can do. Tao lived to 101, proving that movement, mindset, and passion for life keep us alive. Her story is a reminder that how we age is a choice, and mindset shapes everything. But, staying vibrant isn't just about how we move and fuel our bodies. It's also about what we're able to release. One of the biggest things that weighs us down is stress. You can relate, right? Yeah. I learned this one the hard way. A few years ago, I faced some major health challenges, not because of bad luck or bad genes or even bad habits, but because of stress. My body was stuck in high alert, and it took a serious toll on my health. Learning how to manage stress didn't just help me feel better, it truly changed my life. Here's what I know for sure. You can't eliminate stress, but you can change how you respond to it. And it doesn't take a complete life overhaul to do it. Simple shifts, like deep breathing, or even just a few moments of stillness and silence, can transform the way stress affects you. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Stress isn't just about what's happening around us, it's about what's happening within us. One of the most powerful ways to shift that internal state of stress is gratitude. I know, it sounds funny, right? Gratitude isn't just a feel-good practice. Gratitude actually lowers your cortisol, your stress hormone. It boosts dopamine, your brain's feel-good chemical, and it literally rewires your brain for happiness. Because the more we practice recalling positive experience, the more resilient we become. When we take time to feel grateful, we're training our mind to see the good, even when life gets hard. Now, this does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending that everything's perfect. Real gratitude is not about looking at life through rose-colored glasses. It's about fully embracing life as it is. The highs, struggles, even the moments we would have never chosen, because they've shaped us into who we are today. And as we age, life will bring transitions, careers ending, loved ones passing, changes in health. But with every loss, there's an opportunity to appreciate what remains. And gratitude helps us hold both, like the grief and the growth, the past and the present. And that's what makes it so powerful. It's the power of mindset. When you learn to tap into it, you appreciate your life and you thrive. What if I were to tell you there's one simple practice that can sharpen focus, improve sleep, reduce stress, and even slow aging? Would you try it? That's exactly what meditation does. Meditation doesn't just help you feel calmer, it actually changes the physical structure of your brain. The first groundbreaking study on meditation happened in 2012. Dr. Sarah Lazar, along with Harvard and Mass General Hospital, discovered something incredible. After just 8 weeks of meditating for 20 minutes twice a day, participants' brains physically changed. So they did pre-study MRIs of all of the participants, and then they did post-study MRIs. And the findings were unanimous. In every single participant, the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning, grew by 5%. And the amygdala, our fear and anxiety center of the brain, decreased by 5%. So that is the physical gray matter structure of the brain that changed in every participant meditating twice a day for 20 minutes. Now, that was a small study, but it had a huge impact. And now there have been hundreds of studies done on the benefits of meditation. Research now shows that long-term meditators have more gray matter in their brains. And while brain volume does naturally shrink with age, meditators hold on to more of it, like literally preserving brain function as they get older. Even our DNA benefits. Every time a cell divides, the protective caps on our chromosomes, they're called telomeres, they shorten. And when they get too short, the cells can no longer renew, and that speeds up aging. So research found that meditation actually produces more telomerase. That's the enzyme that protects the telomeres, the little caps. So more telomerase, slower aging. Meditation isn't just about relaxation, it's about resilience. My absolute favorite definition of meditation is sustained voluntary attention. Okay, that's not that hard. It says nothing about climbing to the top of the mountain, sitting cross-legged, being silent for hours at a time. It just says you voluntarily choose to sustain your attention on something as your distractions try to pull you away. So it's not complicated, but it's not easy. You don't need hours of silence. You don't need a special cushion. You just need three things. You need to show up mentally and physically, right? You want to have that voluntary attitude of, I want to do this, and then find a quiet spot. Secondly, choose an anchor for your attention, something to keep coming back to, your breath, your fingertips, a mantra, a silently repeated phrase or vibration in your mind. And then the third step is refocusing. When your mind wanders, and it will, the practice is bringing yourself back to that anchor. That's the practice. I think we should try it. What do you think? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Just find a comfortable position right where you are. Just maybe feel your feet on the floor. You want to feel yourself feeling this balanced energy between being really comfortable and also alert. Okay, so too comfortable, you'll fall asleep. Too alert, you'll feel rigid. And then you can either close your eyes or just softly gaze down. There's no perfect way to do this, just comfortable and alert. And then take a moment, let yourself settle. Feel the weight of your body, the chair underneath you. Maybe feel the floor underneath your feet. Bring your attention to your breath, just as it is. You don't have to change anything. Just notice it. On your next inhale, I want you to watch the air move in through your nose. Inflate your chest, your upper back, your ribs. Pause at the peak. And then slowly start to release the breath out of the lungs. Chest softens, the upper back softens. The air moves back out into the room. And then do that once more. Observe it as the breath comes in, expands the ribs, fills the lungs. And then slowly feel the lungs soften, the ribs soften in. The breath moves out through your nose, back out into the room. And now just breathe naturally. Go ahead, open your eyes. Now that was just 32 seconds, half of a minute, 2 breaths. In that time, if you're playing along with me, You are fully present. No past, no future, just here, now. In that half a minute, you started to shift your body and brain chemistry. Your heart rate slowed, oxygen filled your bloodstream, and stress began to melt away. It's a very small pause with a big reset. Imagine the impact if you did that 5 or 10 minutes every day. So, why does all this matter? Well, because aging optimally isn't just about how you look or feel, it's about how you participate in life. It's about having the energy and the confidence and the vitality to do what lights you up. It's about showing up for yourself and for the people who matter most to you. And it's never too late to start. It's never too early to start. Every small action you take today builds the foundation for the snowball of healthy habits that you're rolling. You have the power to define how you age. The fourth quarter of life is not about stepping back. It's about stepping forward. It's about leaning into your strength, your experience, and your wisdom. So I challenge you, commit to just one of the 3 non-negotiables I shared with you today and start rolling a snowball of healthy habits. Will you upgrade your sleep? Or maybe you're going to pick up a weight or a resistance band and build some muscle. Or maybe today is the day you shift your mindset and take a more active role in your self-care and in the fourth quarter of your life. The story of aging is ours to write. So let's do it boldly, vibrantly, and with the confidence the best is yet to come.
No, that was an amazing, amazing session, Cindy. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your lot of wisdom, a lot of. How can we ensure that we talk about health by design? So aging optimally is really, really important for all of us here. And you made a huge impact on ITBD community today. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me, and thank you for your questions. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day and put some of these practices into place.